Hello once again. As mentioned in my previous video, once again, fueled by the indiscriminate need to make sure my addiction is satisfied to card packs, I have decided to buy a Play Boosters set from the new Foundations, which I thoroughly look forward to. I've heard some really good things so far. Well, I've heard actually interesting things. Where it's either one, people are like really happy with their stuff they're getting, or two, they're very not confused, but they're not quite as happy as they'd like to be. I'll be back one sec. Because from what I've been hearing, I find that people are happy about the reprints, but that some of the older, newer cards, they're just not as good or something. So there's a lot of mixed opinions. I don't know where it comes from. Obviously, people who are a lot further into the hobby than me, they've been around for a lot longer. Like, for some reason, I hear that there's like a Death Race Magic expansion coming out, and there's not really anything wrong with that, but apparently it's causing a lot of people to feel a certain way about it because they aren't too sure why it's coming up, I think. You know, I can never figure out what that's for. Like, I understand it's to have like grab and go, but I don't understand how to set it up. My. Look at all those packs, look at all those cards. I once again look at an endless swarm of cards as they sit in front of me. Man, there's just something about holding a pack, isn't there? It feels better than holding a piece of candy. I don't like candy, but if I had to say like I had a replacement for candy, this would be it. Expensive candy, but shit. Same feeling, same overall with want. Me personally, I don't know too much of what to expect from this. I'm noticing that these packs are not looking too open user friendly. But with my excitement on the rise, let's get started with our first pack. So I got one of the artwork cards. I personally like these cards a lot. I think they're very fun, even though they don't have any technical purpose. It applies to the hobby a lot. So you have the Beastkin Ranger. Trample. Whenever another creature you control enters, then this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Seems like a fair 3 mana cost minion. Ooh, this I might actually make use of. Torlarian Terror. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery spell in your graveyard. Ward 2. If I'm not mistaken, that is a reprint, but a bit exciting for me. I have a Leviathan Serpent deck that I think is fun to play, but I have encountered many moments where I accidentally overwhelm my friends too quickly. Squad Rallier. 2 mana, 2 colorless, 1 light. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with power 2 or less among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And that seems pretty useful. I love ones that kind of like sift through a deck more. Why are you shaking? Am I shaking? Okay. Incinerating Blast. Incinerating Blast does 6 damage to target creature. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. I mean, pretty fair overall. Pretty easy. Sounds like a solid look. Eaten Alive. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or pay 3 colorless and 1 black. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Man, I might find a place for that in my zombie deck. That seems like a really fun card to play. If it's the theme. And we have a artwork for the Evolving Wilds. Put all basic land right there. And we have a Gleaming Barrier. Creature wall. Defender. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. I mean, that's pretty fair. Pretty easy to make use of. Spectral Sailor. Flash, flying, and then you can pay 3 colorless and 1 island to draw a card. I wonder why it has flash. Heraldic Banner. As this artifact enters, choose a color. Creatures you control the chosen color get +1/+0. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. I mean, that's pretty fair. That's pretty nice. I think a lot of people can make use of that, but also it's not like... I think you'd find more use of it in a token swarmy deck versus a more control style. Guarded Air. Lifelink. When this creature enters, create 2/3/3 white knight creature tokens. I don't know if that is a joke, but I like it. Mild-Mannered Librarian. That is a mouthful. For 3 colorless and 1 forest, this creature becomes a werewolf. Put 2 1/1 counters on it. You draw a card and activate only once. I read that wrong. There was no and there. Ooh, this is a card I've actually been wanting. Atali Primal Storm. This is by no means a new card, but I like it. Whenever Atali attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana cost. Very just fun to throw on the field and watch people kind of panic for a minute. And then we got the Quick Draw Katana in the foil. During your turn, equipped creature gets +2 and +0 and has first strike. Equip 2. I think that looks pretty good. And then we have the full artwork for the island, which I think looks pretty cool overall. I'd probably add that to my deck. That is 1 pack down. Atali Primal Storm. There's another... I think there's another version of Atali that I want, that I'm looking for. I don't know if it's Atali, though. I think it might be a different one. All right. It's like, truth be told, I don't actually ever know what I'm looking for in these. it's always very very specific to, I'm just kind of doing it to do it. Not too concerned with a specific turnout. Like, I'm not gonna cry by the end of this. Unless I don't know. Unless I was to get like some sort of crazy card that people would want. Maybe. So we got Felidar Savior. Jeez. If I could talk. When this creature gets a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. Pretty sure that would go well in a deck that my friend's building. Thrill of Possibility. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card and then draw 2 cards. I'd say it's pretty worth it. Oh. Hungry Ghoul. Sacrifice another creature, put a +1 counter on this creature. Huh. Maybe. Might put that in my zombie deck. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I already have it. Dwin's Elite. When this creature enters, if you control another elf, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token, which would go off of what we received on the token. Elementalist Adept. Flash and Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So I'm assuming that can be in your hand and still have that effect. Maybe. We'll see. Then we have another Gleaming Barrier. Honestly, it seems like a pretty cool artifact to have in a deck, especially for that treasure token. Witness Protection. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green-white citizen creature with base power and toughness 1, named Legitimate Business Person. I believe it. He is indeed a legitimate business person. Blanchwood Armor. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. That could be pretty powerful, especially in the late game. That could swing a game in a second. We got a multicolored Wardens of the Cycle. Morbid. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, choose 1. You gain 2 life, you draw a card, and lose 1 life. That's pretty cool. That's pretty powerful, too. I would find its color difference to be a bit interesting, though. Black and green. I don't think I've seen that yet. Alright. Ravenous Amulet. 1, to tap, sacrifice a creature, draw a card, and put a soul counter on this artifact. Activate only as a sorcery. And then 4, sacrifice this artifact. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of soul counters on this artifact. That's awfully interesting. I'd say the only downside is that it doesn't say whenever a creature dies. It has to actively build up its own counters. Revenge of the Rats. Create a tapped 1/1 black rat creature token for each creature card in your graveyard, and then this also has flashback. Tiny Bones Bauble Burglar. Legendary creature. Whenever an opponent discards a card, exile it from their graveyard with a stash counter on it. During your turn, you may play cards you don't own with stash counters on them from exile. And mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. Each opponent discards a card, activate only as a sorcery. Well, he seems pretty good at what he does then, don't he? They're going to start moving. And then, as seemingly fit, we have a foil Dazzling Angel. Flying whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. A very fitting foil. Then I got a Bloodfell Caves. Yeah, when this land enters, you gain 1 life. That's pretty, hopefully, exciting. It's definitely better than some benefits I see. Oh boy, got another art card. Ooh, I like this one. Dragons surrounded by their power. That's a good one. Start with the Dismal Black Backwater. Must be new artwork. We got a Black Spell Stab. Target creature gets a -2/-2 until the end of turn. Honestly, really powerful considering if you ever get a indestructible minion that you want out of the way. We have another Beastkin Ranger with the Trample and Enter. Yeah, my last opening, I received plenty of duplicates, but I did get a wide variety of cards, and I'm curious if that'll stay true to this as well. So we got the Mocking Sprite. Flying instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less. That is a very useful card, I imagine. Helpful Hunter. When this creature enters, draw a card. Very helpful indeed. I couldn't agree more. Goblin Surprise. Choose 1. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until the end of turn, or create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. I don't have much of a favoritism to goblins, but apparently they're pretty good. Elf Sworn Giant. Reach. This creature can block creatures with flying. Landfall. Whenever land you control enters, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Very swarmy, I like it. Pilfer. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, that player discards that card. Very disruptive, I like it. In my opinion, that's what's missing a lot from Magic, is while it's there, in my opinion, it's not as viable when you want it to be. So we got Ruby the Daring Tracker. When Ruby attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Ruby gets +2/+2 until the end of turn, and then I can tap to add mana as well. Exciting. I'm gonna put that in the green pile. These cards will stop flipping around on each other. Brineborn Cutthroat. Flash. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a +1 counter on this creature. That's pretty nice. Dwyn Giltleaf Dane. Legendary creature with reach. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever Dwyn attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. A very seemingly solid elf card. Zombify. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. No other way to describe it. That is indeed Zombify. Lunar Insight. Draw a card for each different mana value among non-land permanents you control. That's very specific. I like it. And then we have Llanowar Elves, which is a elf creature that just reads tap to add forest. Effective. Very nice. part of me also kind of wonders if a different position would work better. I'm inclined to have it here at the angle, but like, I don't know. It's like, it kind of works. My thing is the lighting. It's not ideal, I suppose. But oh well, oh well. This pack is being a little iffy. Trying my best not to be too hasty. Looks like we got a rat token and zombie creature token, which the zombie one is actually useful. I don't have any for my zombie deck. We're gonna start off with the full artwork forest, which looks very nice. And then we will get on with the rest. So then we have the Light Shell Duo Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this one gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. When this creature enters, Surveil 2. Very nice. I found that to be incredibly useful in my zombie deck. Cathar Commando. When sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So it's a pretty useful bend to will kind of deal. Courageous Goblin. When this creature attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, this creature gets +1/+0 and gains a menace. Well, can't say he's not trying. Vampire Soul Caller. Flying. This creature cannot block. When this creature enters, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Well, it's pretty easy overall, I think. Ambush Wolf. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, and it has flash. Interesting. Think Twice. Draw a card, and then this has flashback. I don't think I'd ever run it, but in a heavy insta-spell deck, then maybe. Fanatical Firebrand. Haste. Sacrifice this creature, it deals 1 damage to any target. It's a goblin pirate. Very specific. Inspiring Call. Draw a card for each creature you control with a counter on it. Those creatures gain destructible until the end of turn. Battle Song Berserker. Whenever you attack, target creature you control gains +1/+0 and gains menace until end of turn. I like it. Divine Resilience. Kicker. You may pay an additional cost of 2 in 1 planes. Target creature you control gains indestructible. If this spell was kicked, instead any number of target creatures you control gain indestructible. And both are in effect that lasts the turn. Think Twice with a full artwork there that looks pretty nice. Draw a card. Again, for an insta spell, I don't think it's bad. I just don't think I would run it. Archmage of Runes. A giant wizard. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast one, you draw a card. Nice. And then our foil is Burst Lightning. Kicker is 4 colorless. This deals 2 damage to any target. If this spell was kicked, it deals 4 instead. Very nice. Oh boy, oh boy. Getting this funny feeling that I might just become a little more tired as this goes on. Alright, so we have opened a dragon token card with a 4/4 on the front and a 5/5 on the back. Very nice. Let's look at the land card real quick. It is a foil of the full artwork forest. Looks very nice. I like the foil ones. So we have Make Your Move. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. I don't know how enchantment works. Does it consider for the mana? Crackling Cyclops. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +3/0 until the end of turn. He's a 0/4 though, so that's heavy reliant. We have another Vampire Soulcaller. A Bushwhack. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle, or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Nice. Could be useful in some situations, it just depends. We have another Light Shell Duo. We have the Inspiring Paladin. During your turn, this creature has first strike. During your turn, creatures you control with +1 counters on them have first strike. Very nice overall. We have another Fanatical Firebrand, the goblin that sacrifices to do damage. Please stay. That's all I can ask of you. Then we have a Burnished Heart. Artifact creature elk. Sacrifice this creature, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. It's very specific. I don't even know where to put that. Quake Strider Ceratops. It is a 12/8 with that costs 6 mana. 3 trees and 3 colorless. Hefty. Hide Stuga's Second Right. If player has exactly 10 life, this card deals 10 damage to that player. Well, you gotta guess it's a gimmick, I guess, but I don't know if I'd run it. Hero's Downfall. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Then we have the Drake Hatcher. Vigilance and Prowess. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many incubation counters on it. Remove 3 incubation counters from this creature and create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. It's a lot to say, not gonna lie. Then we have the Gnarlid Colony. Kicker 2 colorless and 1 forest. If this creature was kicked, it enters with 2 +1 counters on it. Each creature you control with the +1 counter on it has trample. And that's our foil too. It's a very interesting card. I have to see if my friend might be curious about that dinosaur or not, though it's a plain card, so I think it's debatable if you want it in your deck or not. Let me see. This one came apart pretty quick. Looks like we received another token card with a knight and a human. Easy, tons of fun. Let's see. And our land card is a new artwork swamp. Not too bad. Alright, so we have the Crypt Feaster. It is a zombie menace. Threshold. Whenever this creature attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, this creature gets +2/+0. I might have to consider that. My zombie deck does pretty well, but I think it could use some improvements. We have the Llanowar Elves again, that tap for a forest. Uncharted Voyage. Target creature's owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library and then use Surveil. It's pretty nice. Banishing Light. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. So I think what we're looking at is the artwork here, which, in my opinion, looks incredible. Then we have the Axe Guard Cavalry. Target creature gains haste until the end of turn. That's not bad at all. The Fanatical Firebrand yet again. I have a feeling I might see a decent amount of him. We have another Elf-Sworn Giant. Ooh, and we got a Hydra. A Wild Scourge. This creature enters with X+1 counters on it. Whenever one or more counters are put on another non-Hydra creature you control, put a +1 counter on this creature. Very nice. So even if you play it early, it can grow. We have another Spectral Sailor, which I still don't understand quite why he has flash. Discroft Ghoul. Creature zombie. This creature enters tapped. Fair enough, I guess. Krenko Mob Boss. Create X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens where X is the number of goblins you control. Oh. So he essentially doubles your... He doubles your goblin amount every time he taps for that. That's wonderful. Niv Mizzet Visionary. Flying, you have no maximum hand size. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards. That's awfully interesting. I like that. Could go very well in a dragon deck. I think I'm going to put him in red. And then we have Shivan Dragon. Flying, this creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn for 1 mountain. And that is not a tap. My, that foil's really good looking. Well. I feel like a child reaching into the Halloween neighbor's basket, just pulling out a bunch of candy. Bunch of candy I don't need. Man, I got 3 more of these stacks. Huh. Well, this is an awfully fun little token. It's a fish token. And that's really nice artwork on that. And we have a fairy token as well. And then we have, I assume to be a new Artworks Plains, which very plain, but looks good. Alright, so for the first guy, we got Gorehorn Raider, Minotaur Pirate, Raid. When this creature enters, if you attack to this turn, this creature deals 2 damage to any target. It's awfully interesting, so definitely a second main phase card. Gutless Plunderer, Death Touch, Raid. When this creature enters, if you attack to this turn, look at the top... Excuse me, jeez. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library, put the rest into the graveyard. That'd actually be really useful, but unfortunately it's not a zombie. Giant Growth. This target creature gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Fair enough. Very simple, very light. Erudite Wizard. Whenever you draw a card, whenever you draw your second card each turn, put +1 counter on this creature. What about a third card? So then we have the regular Dazzling Angel. Then we have Sower of Chaos. It's a devil creature. Target creature cannot block this turn. So I assume devil fits in with demons, maybe? Oh, whoops. Prideful Parent. Vigilance. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. I'm getting a lot of cat cards. Spitefire Lagok. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Very simple. Vampire Nighthawk. It's a shaman. Flying, death touch, and lifelink. Very simple. I kind of want to get a vampire deck at some point. Claws Out. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each... Oh, jeez. I've been holding these way too far. For each cat you control, creatures you control get +2/+2 until the end of turn. Man. There's definitely a cat theme there that I see. That's why my friend's building one, I guess. Billowing Shriek Mass. Flying, when this creature enters, mill 3 cards, and then Threshold. This creature gets +2/+1 as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Awfully interesting. Sylvan Scavenging. At the beginning of your end step, choose 1. Put a +1 counter on target creature you control, or create a 3/3 green raccoon creature token if you control a creature with 4 or greater power. Very interesting. And then we have another dragon foil, Rite of the Dragon Caller. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. Very nice. Oh my eye, oh my eye, it itches. Please! Try not to get eye gunk on my cards. Wow. My, is that a treasure token? It is. So we have a dazzling treasure token that also serves as a food token. Then we're going to look at the full artwork of the forest. This is different, which is nice. It's more of the wild than it is the future. So we're starting off with another light shell duo. And another inspiring paladin. Then we have another courageous goblin. And then we have marauding blight priest. It is a vampire cleric. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Pretty interesting. Ambush wolf. Treetop snare spinner. Reach with death touch. 2 colorless, 1 forest. Put a +1 counter on target creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Interesting. Then we have Sanguine Siphoner. Whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I can definitely see some synergy between the vampires right now. Eager Truffle Snout. Trample. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, you create a food token. Pretty nice, pretty easy. Fey Bloom Trick. Create 2 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens with flying. When you do, tap target creature and opponent controls. Very easy, very simple. Rogue's Passage, which is just a tap for colorless or target creature cannot be blocked this turn. Let's put that there. Infernal Vessel. When this creature dies, if it wasn't a demon, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with 2 counters on it. It is a demon in addition to its other types. And then we have Mossborn Hydra. Trample. This creature enters with +1 counter on it. And then whenever land you control enters, double the number of +1 counters on this creature. That is awfully powerful. And then for our foiled is another Eager Truffle Snout. I like the Hydras I'm getting. My friend's trying to build one. I don't know how successful it's going though. Just a pure Hydra deck. But we'll see, we'll see. I think it'll go pretty well. I don't think it should fall out of line by any means. Looks like we finally got another artwork series of, it appears to be a cleric, I believe. And then we're going to look at the Land of Windscarred Crag. And when this enters, you gain 1 life. Alright. So, to start things off, we have the Burglar Rat. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. The rats I know have crazy synergy with each other. They get a nasty real quick. Apothecary Stomper. When this creature enters, choose 1. Put 2 +1 counters on target creature you control, or you gain 4 life. My. Big Fin Bouncer. When this creature enters, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. It's awfully free. Fleeting Flight. Put a +1 counter on target creature against flying until the end of turn. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it this turn. Huh. Awfully interesting. Firebrand Archer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Very simple. Noticing that's what a lot of these cards are. Icewind Elemental. When this creature enters, draw a card, then discard a card. Oh, whoops, I almost put that in the wrong area. And we have another Evolving Wilds. Frenzied Goblin. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 1 mountain. If you do, target creature can't block this turn. Balmor Battlemage Captain. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain trample until the end of turn. Bird Wizard. I've not heard of that. Savannah Lions. It is a single plains for a cat. Oh my. What is this? Grappling Kraken. Landfall. Whenever land you control enters, tap target creature your opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. That is actually going to go into my Leviathan deck. That is a very useful card. I like that a lot, actually. Put that off to the side as keep. Flame Wake Phoenix. Flying Haste. This creature attacks each combat if able. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may pay 1 mountain. If you do, return this card to your from your graveyard to the battlefield. So just a sticky minion. And then we have an instant foiled Fleeting Flight. I really like that Kraken though. That is very powerful in my deck because my commander, I always struggle with his name. It's like Aesir. Anyways, his ability allows you to play 2 lands per turn and you draw a card every land. So it's nice to have that option. So it looks like we got another token creature of a cat and a cat. Let's look at our land. It is a foil Tranquil Cove. Very nice. Alright, so we have another Think Twice. We have another Kathier Commando. Another Burst Lightning. This one is not a foil. Then we have Magrabe Waltz. Sorcery. Return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. I might add that to my zombie deck. That's pretty nice. Cackling Prowler. Ward 2. Morbid. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, put a +1 counter on this creature. Huh. Very nice. Runaway Together. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Return those creatures to their owner's hand. Very interesting artwork, I'll say. Had me staring for quite a minute. Armasaur Guide. Vigilance. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. That might actually find a place in my friend's deck. I'll give it to him. $5. $5. Dreadwing Scavenger. It is a nightmare bird. Flying. When this creature enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Threshold. It gains +1/+1 and has Death Touch with 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Nice. I'm going to put that in the gray pile. Brazen Scourge. It is a gremlin with haste. Vampire Gourmand. When this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. This creature can't be blocked this turn. That is very nice. Rune Sealed Wall. Defender. Surveil 1. That's very nice, actually. I might add that to my zombie deck. Maybe. We'll see. And then we have Elenda, Saint of Dusk. Lifelink, hexproof from instants. As long as your life total is greater than your starting life total, Elenda gets +1/+1 and has Menace. Elenda gets an additional +5/+5 as long as your life total is at least 10 or greater than your starting total. That is very interesting. And then for our foil, we got a Crackling Cyclops. I'm getting a lot of vampire cards, which makes me happy because I would love to make a vampire deck. But these are some of the first I'm opening, so I'm definitely nowhere near that point. It looks like we have another token card for a ninja and Kaito. Oh, it's an emblem. Oh, I have this Planeswalker. Whenever a player casts a spell, you create a 2/1 blue ninja creature token. Interesting. I didn't know there were emblems for effects, or like token cards for emblems. That's very nice. Let's look at the land, Rugged Highlands. Very nice. And let's start sorting through. So we have Grow from Ashes, Kicker 2. Search your library for a basic land card and put it on the battlefield. And it doesn't say tapped, so that's pretty nice. If this spell was kicked, instead search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. That is awfully powerful. That's really nice. I might have to... Because effectively, if you kick it, you're only paying 3 mana to put 2 lands onto the battlefield. Honestly, that's better than some of the cards I have in there. Mocking Sprite. So I have another one of those. Then I have another Helpful Hunter. Very helpful indeed. Very, very. Another Goblin Surprise. Another Stab. Another Witness Protection. We have Campus Guide. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, shuffle, and put that card on top. I feel like it could be a bit better, but I'm not going to complain. Alright, I'm probably going to botch this, but Silicant Sky Mage, flying whenever you draw a card, put a +1 counter on this creature. I could get dangerous real fast. Sarah Angel, flying and vigilance. It's a 4/4. Secluded Courtyard. As this land enters, choose a creature type. Add 1 mana, or add a colorless, or add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type or activate an ability of the creature's source of the chosen type. That looks very nice. And then we have Fiery Annihilation. Deals 5 damage to target creature. Exile up to 1 target equipment attached to that creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. I like how it says this turn. It doesn't say by this spell. Man, just stay still. Elvish Archdruid. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1, and then add a forest for each elf you control. That could be pretty powerful. Mischievous Pup, a creature dog flash, and when this creature enters, return up to 1 other target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Who knows, that could be pretty nice, but that foil looks really good. Oh boy, we're not even halfway. How does that feel? Ooh-ha, got another art card. Oh my. That is some really nice artwork. Alright, let's do the back to see the land. We get Swiftwater Cliffs. Alright, so we got another Burst Lightning here. Another Macrobay Waltz. Another Cackling Prowler. Alright, we are really hitting the duplicates now. Runaway Together. Another Felidar Savior. Heir Apparent. Creature, Rabbit Noble. When this creature enters, create a number of 1/1 white rabbit creature tokens equal to the number of other creatures you control named Heir Apparent. A deck can have any number of cards named Heir Apparent. That's awfully interesting. Even in a commander deck, that's very interesting. And they keep getting out of line. Wary Thespin. When this creature enters or dies, surveil 1. Interesting. Reassembling Skeleton. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Very interesting. Heartfire Immolator. Stop sliding. Prowess. With a mountain, sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. Could be very nice, who knows? Micromancer. When this creature enters, you may search your library for an instant or sorcery card with mana value 1, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then we have Hero's Downfall with that artwork as the zombies are surrounding what appears to be a halfling. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Very nice. I like that artwork a lot. Time stop. End this turn. Exile all spells and abilities, including this spell. The player whose turn it is discards down to their maximum hand size, damage heals, and this turn and until end of next turn effects. That is an awfully interesting card. Damn. Just end the turn. Fuck you. And then as our foil, we have another Burglar Rat. My, let's get it on. Time stop. That card looks very interesting. Alright, so we got another token of an insect and a goblin. We're going to take the final card, and we got a Dismal Backwater again, but this time it's a foil. I might add that to my zombie deck. It is a blue-black deck. We have another Gnarlid Colony. Or no, that's the wrong pile. Whoops. Fleeting Distraction. Target creature gets a -1/-0 until the end of turn and draw a card. Adeptly named. Healer's Hawk, flying and lifelink. Plain simple, can't go wrong. Sure Strike. Target creature gets +3/0 and gains first strike until the end of turn. Oh, this card has amazing artwork. Fake Your Own Death. Until the end of turn, target creature gets +2/0 and gains when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control and create a treasure token. That's very nice. Whoa. Bite Down. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Very nice. Involuntary Employment. Gain control of target creature until the end of turn, untap it, and gains haste until the end of turn. Create a treasure token. Seems pretty powerful. Joust Through. Joust Through deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. You gain 1 life. And then we have Essence Shatter. Counter target creature spell. And then we have a Perforating Artist. Death Touch. Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack to this turn, each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent of their choice or discards a card. Very nice. So 9 lives Familiar. This creature enters with 8 revival counters on it if you cast it. When this creature dies, if it had a revival counter, returns to the battlefield with 1 or fewer revival counters on it at the beginning of next end step. Very nice. I like that a lot. Oh. And then we have Valkyrie's Call. Whenever a non-token, non-angel creature you control dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1 counter on it. It has flying and is an angel in addition to its other types. Huh. Interesting. That's very nice. And then we have a foil Fleeting Distraction. Alright, it would appear we have another cat token card with a spirit on the back this time. Then we see the full artwork planes. Looks very nice. Alright, let's see what we got. Thrill of Possibility once again. Another Hungry Ghoul. And we have another Dwin's Elite. Another Elementalist Adept. Luminous Rebuke. Or Rebuke. When this spell costs 3 less to cast, if it taps a target... Give me a second, apparently I can't read. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a tapped creature. Destroy target creature. Nice. Aegis Turtle. It is a creature turtle with 0/5. Looks awfully interesting. We have another Quick Draw Katana. This one is not a foil. We have Strongbox Raider. When this creature enters, if you attack this turn, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. And then we have a Stormkirk Blood Thief. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1 counter on target vampire you control. An offer you cannot refuse. Counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. Dang. Then we have Cat Collector. This creature enters, create a food token. It is an artifact, and when you gain life for the first time during each of your turns, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Alright. Then we have Extravagant Replication. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. That is really cool. And then we have Vengeful Blood Witch. Creature, vampire, warlock. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Looks very nice. Ooh, another art card. Looks like we got 2 fairies playing in a flower, maybe? Not too sure. And we have our land, Scoured Barrens. Very nice. And for this we have Refute. Counter target spell, draw a card, then discard a card. Then we have another Make Your Move. Ooh yeah, the commons are real light this expansion. Crackling Cyclops. Another Vampire Soul Caller. Another Bushwhack. Then we have Soul Shackled Zombie. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. If at least 1 creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I feel like I should put that in my zombie deck. That's pretty cool. Gold Vein Pick. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Only cost 1 to equip. Good Fortune Unicorn. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1 counter on that creature. Very simple, very powerful. Put in the white. Mischievous Pup once again. Arbiter of Woe. As an additional cost to cast this, sacrifice a creature. It has flying, and when this creature enters, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. You draw a card and gain 2 life. Very easy. Painful Quandary. When an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless they discard a card. That seems pretty powerful. And then we have Blasphemous Edict. You may pay swamps rather than pay the spell's mana cost if there are 13 or more creatures on the battlefield. Each player sacrifices 13 creatures of their choice. Wow. That's pretty cool. Then we have Foiled Dwin's Elite. I'm liking the black cards. I love their theme. Works really well. Ooh, another art card. Alright, so let's see. Oh, this one's got a signature. Appears to be I think a couple of goblins, maybe. But they look like monkeys. Maybe that's one and the same. You monkey. Then we have a different artwork swamp. Oh. Alright, another courageous goblin. Marauding Blight Priest. Ambush Wolf. Think Twice. Another Commando. Another Giant. Another Pilfer. And then we have Angel of Finality. When this creature enters, exile target player's graveyard. Man, that is quite the name. A Sangju innate? Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Wow. Nice. I like that. Then we have Titoyova Benefic Druid. A legendary creature. Landfall. When a land you control enters, you gain 1 life and draw a card. I might add that to my deck, because that's amazing. That could be really good. Reclamation Sage. When this creature enters, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. So it's got new artwork. I had this in one of my other decks. Anthem of Champions. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Very simple, very powerful. And then our foil is yet another Apothecary Stomper. Oh my, 1 stacked down, 2 more to go. So it looks like we got another Night Token creature with another human on the back. Not much variance there. Ooh, look at that full artwork swamp. You got the crypt along with a bunch of gravestones around. That's definitely going in one of my decks. Bake into a pie. Destroy target creature, create a food token. Costs 4 mana though. Broken Wings. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Very specific. Streak's Lookout. Flying and Vigilance. With 1 colorless and 1 island, you draw a card, then discard a card. And then we have Vanguard Seraph. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, Surveil 1 is an Angel Warrior. Then we have the Goblin Borders Raid. This creature enters with a +1 counter on it if you attacked this turn. Infestation Sage. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 black-green insect creature token with flying. Wish I had a poison counter on it. Campus Guide, yet again, another Pilfer. Goblin Negotiation. When it deals X damage to target creature, create a number of 1 red goblin creature tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to the creature this way. So a nice way to catch up if you lack the tokens. Then we have a Dauntless Veteran. When this creature attacks, get creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. Overrun. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until the end of turn. Then we have an artifact creature Golem. Solomon Simulacrum? That's a crazy name. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. After this creature dies, you may draw a card. I have 2 of this. This was given to me at the shop I bought the box at. So it does the same exact thing, same name, but very different artwork, very different. And then we have Involuntary Employment as a foil. Look at all this. Look at all of this. There is a whole nother stack just like this. This is what, 9 packs? So easily over 100 cards. Jeez. A kid with his candy. All right. Got another artwork card. Looks to be the 1 wizard incubator. Look at the piece of land. It is a foil mountain. Alright, so we have Luminous Rebuke. Then we've seen that. Gorehorn Raider, we have seen that. We have seen the Gutless Plunderer and Giant Growth. Erudite Wizard, we have seen. Dazzling Angel, we have seen 3 times now, with Wary Thespian as well. Shivian Dragon, we got a foil of that one. Guarded Air, another copy. Heraldic Banner, once again. Then Heartfire Immolator. Crystal Barricade. You have hexproof, you can't be the target, and then prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Huh. That's very interesting. Crystal Barricade. Very nice. High Society Hunter, a vampire noble. When this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, put a +1 counter on this creature. Whenever another non-token creature dies, draw a card. Very nice. Yeah, that was definitely a duplicate kind of pack. That was a bit rough, I'm not gonna lie. What I like is that the packs don't hold on too much. They just kind of let go. Got another insect token with a zombie as well. Very nice. Look at the land. We got Jungle Hollow. All of them, all the double lands from this set come in tapped, but they give you 1 life. So we have Grow from Ashes again. Another Tolarian Terror. Then we have Squad Rallier. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal... Oh, we did find this at the very beginning. I think this is in one of our first packs. Incinerating Blast, I believe, once again. Our first packs, as well as Stab. We have another Heir Apparent for the meme. Another Soul Shackled Zombie. We have Self-Reflection. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, and this has Flashback. We have Affectionate Indrik. When this creature enters, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. Well, gee, that's kind of rude. We have the Swift Boots. Honestly, I might put that in one of my decks. Felling Blow. Put a +1 counter on target creature you control, then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. And then we have Lathreo, Blade of the Elves. Menace. Whenever Lathreo deals damage, combat damage, to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf creature tokens. Tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life and you gain 10 life. Dang. Imprisoned in the Moon. Enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent is a colorless land with tap for colorless. It loses all other card types and abilities. Pretty powerful. And we have another cat with another spirit on the back. Let's look at the land we got. Some new artwork for the islands. And we have a Sower of Chaos, another duplicate we have. Another Burglar Rat. Another Apothecary Stomper. Another Big Fin Bouncer, another Fleeting Flight, another Quick Draw Katana, another Aegis Turtle, and we have Juggernaut, which apparently its creature type is Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut! When this creature attacks each combat if able, this creature can't be blocked by walls. Pretty fun overall. Dragon Trainer. When this creature enters, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. I don't know, it's a lot of mana for that. Seeker's Folly. Target opponent discards 2 cards or creatures you control. Your opponent's control get -1/-1 until the end of turn. Fishing Pole. Equipped creature has 1 tap fishing pole. Put a pair bait counter on fishing pole. Whenever an equipped creature becomes untapped, remove a bait counter from this equipment. If you do, create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. Very interesting. Spinner of Souls. When another non-token creature you control dies, you may reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Then our foil is Thrill of Possibility. I'm seeing a lot more duplicates this set, so I think by all accounts, I got a bad box. Granted, though, I did have a decent amount of duplicates on my previous set. Got artwork for what appears to be a train, maybe? Maybe it's just a hull. We got the full artwork swamp. This one looks like an actual swamp. That's very nice. We have another Beastkin Ranger, another Mocking Sprite, another Helpful Hunter, another Goblin Surprise, Eaten Alive, yep. Another Gnarlid Colony, Involuntary Employment. We have Bloom Tender. For each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. Seems pretty nice. You can make a lot of use out of that. Oh, that's pretty rare card too. Midnight Snack. Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a food token. Sacrifice this enchantment. Target opponent loses X life, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. And then we have Heroic Reinforcement. Create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens until end of turn. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste. Pretty fun overall. Youthful Valkyrie. When another angel you control enters, put a +1 counter on this creature. Ooh, okay. I recognize this card. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a kind of an expensive card. Protection from everything. If Progesinus would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, reveal Progesinus and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. And then we have a foil Armasaur Guide. Honestly, I should have kept some of these out. That's a really good pull. One sec. Well, apparently my phone has been nothing but glitchy as it would turn out, so it has just chosen to stop my video instead of what I told it to do, because apparently I don't have any input on what my phone decides to do. It's quite a conundrum at times. So looks like we got a token creature, soldier, as well as a rabbit. Cute little rabbit. Then the land we got is another Tranquil Cove. Alright, let's see. Another Firebrand Archer. A Crypt Feaster. Llanowar Elves. Uncharted Voyage. Another Banishing Light. Prideful Parent. Another Gold Vein pick. Another Micromancer. Another Reassembling Skeleton. Another Mild Manner Librarian. Then we have the Homunculus Horde. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a token that's a copy of this creature. Huh. I mean, that's pretty cool. Whoa, what is this? Phyrexian Arena. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. That's sick. And then we have Abyssal Harvester, a Demon Warlock. Exile target creature card from a graveyard that was put in there this turn. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a Nightmare in addition to its other types. Then exile other Nightmare tokens you control. That is a really good fucking card. That looks incredible. It's like I need to have a stack of cards that I set off to the side to be like, hey, Are these cards like big cards, or am I overreacting? Got another art card. It is another train, but this one is signed. We have another Land of the Rugged Highlands, but it is a foil. Then let's get started. Refute. Another Healer's Hawk. Another Sure Strike. We have another Fake Your Own Death. Another Bite Down. Tree's Top Snare Spinner, the spider we saw earlier. Spitfire Lagic. Man. Then we have Bulk Up, double target creature's power until the end of turn. That's terrifying to see on a goblin. Tragic Banshee. Morbid. When this creature enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -1 until the end of turn. If a creature died this turn, that creature gets a -13/13 instead. My, that is powerful. A Johnny's Pride Mate. Whenever you gain life, put a +1 counter on this creature. Slumbering Cerberus. Slumbering. I don't know why I said slumbering. This creature doesn't untap during your untap step. Morbid. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, untap this creature. Easy overall. Ooh, Kiora. Kiora the Rising Tide. When Kiora enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. When Kiora attacks, if you are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you may create Scion of the Deep, a legendary 8/8 blue octopus creature token. And then we have a foil Billowing Shriek Mask. Whoa, this is cool. We have Koma's Coil, one of the 3/3 serpents that Koma can summon. That's actually really cool. Scion of the Deep. Man, sick. I'm gonna put that with Kiora the Rising Tide. Alright, let's check out the land we got. Blossoming Sands. Alright, so we got another Axgard Cavalry. Another Bake into a Pie. Broken Wings. Streaks Lookout. Vanguard Seraph. Goblin Borders. Icewind Elemental. We have Bolt Wave, sorcery. Bolt Wave deals 3 damage to each opponent. Alright, Elvish Regrower. When this creature enters, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Mischievous Mystic. When you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. Mischievous indeed. Resolute Reinforcements. Flash. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. And then we have Ghalta Primal Hunger. That is very nice. And then we have a foil Refute. No, since I opened up that one Hydra, I might have to make a Hydra deck. Ooh, speaking of Hydra, look at that artwork. I don't think that's a Hydra, but fuck if it doesn't remind you of one. Then we have the new artwork island. Alright, let's see. Fleeting Distraction again. Make Your Move, Cackling Cyclops, Marauding Blight Priest, Bushwhack, Armasaur Guide, Sanguine Siphoner. We have 2 of those. Stormbrick Blood Thief. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1 counter on target creature, vampire creature you control. I think we have one of those, but I'll read it just in case. Strongbox Raider. Yep, we have one of those. An Offer You Cannot Refuse. Cat Collector. A Leyline Axe. If this card is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Equipped creature gets +1 and has double strike and trample. Equip 3. And then we have a Foil Strikes Lookout. That was a rather underwhelming pack, I will admit. Looks like we have another treasure token with another food on the back. Land we got is Thornwood Falls. Starting off with Infestation Sage again. Yeah. Grow from Ashes, Torlarian Terror, Squad Rallier, Incinerating Blast, another Evolving Wilds, Gleaming Barrier, Garruk's Uprising. I have this in my Eldrazi deck. Skyship Buccaneer. Raid. When this creature enters, if you attacked this turn, draw a card. Twin Blade Blessing. Flash enchant creature. Enchanted creature has double strike. Can't go wrong. Authority of the Consulos. Creatures your opponents control enter tapped. Whenever a creature an opponent controls enters, you gain 1 life. And then we have Quilled Great Worm. I think I have this already, but whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to you during your turn, put that many +1 counters on it. It must survive to get counters. And then you may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 counters from among your creatures you control in addition to paying its other costs. And then I have a foil Quake Strider Ceratops. Big Dinosaur. Alright, last stack. Boy, oh boy. This one is 10 cards, or 10 packs, so still 100 cards to go, but I'm opening so many duplicates, I'm just flying through them, really. So it looks like another goblin and a drake. Let's look at the land, another mountain. Inspiring Paladin, Burst Lightning, Macrobay Waltz, Cackling Prowler, Runaway Together, Witness Protection, Heir Apparent, Prisoned in the Moon, Abrade. Choose one. Abrade deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. Then we have Needletooth Pack, Morbid. At the beginning of your end step, if your creature died this turn, put 2/1 counters on target creature you control. It's a dinosaur. Very interesting. Aetherize. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. Very nice. Raise the Past. Return all creature cards with mana 2 value or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then we have Sarah Angel, just in foil. We have a fish token once again, as long as a fairy. And then we have a foil of the swamp. I love that. Let's see, we got an Eaten Alive. Another Gnarlid Colony. Another Refute. Another Healer's Hawk, another Sure Strike, another Campus Guide, another Wary Thespian, another Dreadwing Scavenger, Brazen Scourge, it's a gremlin I remember, Rune Sealed Wall, Vampire Gourmand, Brass Bounty. For each land you control, create a treasure token. And then a foil Ambush Wolf. That was a very underwhelming pack. I guess we're rounding out to the end. I hit the box. Please, thank you. Such a complicated pack, apparently. Treasure token with the food on the other side. Rugged Highlands. Another Feldir's Savior. Oopsies. Another Thrill of Possibility, another Gutless Plunderer, Dwin's Elite, Elemental Depth, Luminous Rebuke, Aegis Turtle, Quick Stride Ceratops, Second Right, Hero's Downfall, yep, but the first one I got looked way better. Drakuseth, Maw of Flames, flying. When this attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. My, that's pretty powerful. And then we have Omniscience. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Large mana payout. And then a foil Goblin Borders. My. Oh no. Awesome. Why are the bottom packs like so hard to open? I don't understand. It's not like you're fighting anything. We got another artwork of I believe her name was Selena. Alright, so another fake your own death. Another bite down. Feeling distracted. Fleeting distraction. Cackling Cyclops. Another Blight Priest. A quick draw Katana. Voluntary employment. Goblet negotiation. Another Juggernaut. Another Dragon Trainer. Soulstone Sanctuary. This land becomes a 3/3 creature with vigilance, and all creature types, it's still land. For 4 mana. Interesting. You know, I might utilize that in my Scarecrow deck. An offer you can't refuse, and a full artwork mountain. I'm getting to the bottom. I'm running out of luck. And it looks like we got a dragon token. Should be the 4/4 on the other side, right? Yep. We got a Windsguard Crag. Gorehorn Raider, Hungry Ghoul. I feel like we've seen all the basics from this set. Giant Growth, Udite Wizard, Dazzling Angel, Gold Vial Pig, Soul Shackled Zombie, Burnished Heart, Sarah Angel, Silicon Sky Mage, maybe, Fiery Annihilation, Swift Blade Vindictor, Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample. And we have a foil Eaten Alive. Yeah, these last decks are going to go by real fast because I don't think there are very many basics in this set. The Cat and the Cat. The land is Thornwood Falls as a foil. Another Bushwhack. Another Light Shell Duo. Kathor Commander. Courageous Goblin. Vampire Soul Color. Prideful Parent. Spitfire Lagic. Seismic Rupture. Seismic Rupture deals 2 damage to each creature without flying. And then we have Imperium Eagle. It's a bird spirit. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Ooh, that's awfully interesting. Selflid Ink Mage. It's an octopus wizard. When this creature enters, surveil 3. If this creature can't be blocked as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Awfully interesting. Scavenging Ooze. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it's a creature card, pull +1 counter to this creature and you gain 1 life. Why my. Niv-Mizzet Visionary. I believe I opened this up earlier, but not this artwork. Very nice. And then a foil Runaway Together. Oh, whoops. Another, oh, this is a Plains, not a artwork. Wonderful. Another Firebrand Archer. Another Crypt Feaster, Apothecary Stomper, Big Fin Bouncer, Fleeting Flight, Treetop Snare Spinner, Sanguine Siphoner, Dauntless Veteran, Seeker's Folly. Yeah, we've got that one before. Overrun, we have that one as well. Bolt Wave, we have that one as well. And for our legendary creature, Arabo the First Fang. Other cats you control get +1/+1 whenever Arabo or another non-token cat you control enters. Create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Tough looking cat. Rune Scarred Demon. When this creature enters, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Wow. How specific. What are you fighting? Alright, so got an artwork that looks pretty good. Got another Swiftwater Cliffs, another Ambush Wolf, think twice, Inspiring Paladin, Burst Lightning, Macroboat Waltz, Cackling Prowler, Icewind Elemental, Armasaur Guide, a Secluded Courtyard again, Essence Scatter, counter target creature spell, Joust Through, Phyrexian Arena, and then a foil Secluded Courtyard. Nice. Seems odd to open two, but alright. Second to last one. Another Koma's Coil. Nice. I find that interesting because I didn't expect the tokens he creates to come in this. Alright, and then look at the land, it's a plains. Let's go through it. Sower of Chaos, Burglar Rat, Leonora Wells, Strikes Lookout, Vanishing Light, Goblin Borders, Frantic Firebrand, Nisene Horn Beetle. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control another creature with power 4 or greater, put a +1 counter on this creature. Stroke of Midnight. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller takes a 1/1, creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Inspiration from Beyond. Mill 3 cards, then return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, and you can flash back this. Vengeful Blood Witch. Sky Knight Squire. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1 counter on this creature. As long as this creature has 3 or more counters, it has flying. It is a knight in addition to its other types. And then a foil Wary Thespian. Alright, after a long time opening cards, we're now on the final pack. Yippee! Hooray! Yahoo! We will see. I have sincere doubts that this pack will be incredible, but we do get another artwork card, and I'm happy to say that all of them were different except for one. We get a Jungle Hollow, another Runaway, Philadar Savior, Thrill of Possibility, Gutless Plunderer, Dwin's Elite, Evolving the Wilds, Elfsworn Giant, Fishing Pole, Elvish Regrower, Resolute Reinforcements. When you cast this creature, yep. High Fae Trickster. Fairy Wizard. Flash, flying, and may cast spells as though they had flash. Interesting. Twin Flame Tyrant. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage instead. Then I have a foil Firebrand Archer. And that marks the end of this card opening. I wanted to get a couple of collector's boosters, but the shop I go to happened to be out, so that was not the case. Overall, though, I think that went pretty well. I got some cards I'm pretty happy with. Can't really complain too much about it, so I'm happy. Tired, as usual. Reading that many cards takes so long, you just sit there and you're like, interesting. But I'm glad. So, with that being said, if anyone truly bothered to hang out with me, I appreciate it. Opening cards is fun. It's nice to see all the cards you get and everything. It's nice to get your hands on a few that are really fun or just good, like my Abyssal Harvester, I think, is one of my favorites. This is probably my favorite pull because I know for a fact that this is a very popular card. And then I'm also pretty happy for the Bloom Tender. So it looks like a really good card. Yeah, I'm happy overall. So I'm gonna leave it there and call it good. Thanks for hanging out and have an awesome night, regardless of what time it is.